Yeah, I was really liking him, and I kind of thought that he liked me too. I'm not dating anybody. I'm just gonna be friends. This is good for us to be friends. I'm not dating.
So sorry.
I
didn't mean to break your heart.
oh, my heart was broken.
Really, it was?
Oh yeah, I really, really was starting to like you.
Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. I just figured it out. I figured it out. Kody never wanted to be with Meri. Never wanted to be with Meri. And even in that clip, she liked him way before he ever liked her. She had feelings for him way before they got together. And he literally sat her down and was like, yeah, we're just going to be friends. I'm not going to date you. I feel like that's been a foreshadow of their entire existence. He rejected her before they ever got married, and he keeps rejecting her every single day. No wonder she has such a mess of a situation going on here. On this episode of Meri Brown is in Denial, that's right, we have an interview with Meri Brown and that chick from Us Weekly that doesn't ask the best questions. I try so hard to watch the lady that does the interviews for Us Weekly and her follow-ups. I'm just always like, no, I want more. The interview lady on Us Weekly, I don't even know what her name is. She always is asking questions, and it's like she's so, I don't know if she has to play along and pretend like the answers that are being given are not BS because they have something with the network, or she's just doesn't want to put her on the spot. But she's been playing around with this whole idea that Meri and Kody are like a thing when we know they're not. And she interviewed Kody like 2 weeks ago. And on an interview with Kody, he literally said that he and Meri are like amicable, distant, friendly. I mean, he basically said they had an estranged marriage, and he said they had been separated for years, okay? And Meri, when she was interviewed, I think a couple weeks ago by Entertainment Tonight, she said that she was still in this marriage, everything was great, yada, yada. And you're sitting there going, okay, Kody is honestly in a different place than Meri, and Meri is in a la la land. So on this week's installment of Meri, Please Wake Up, we're going to talk about how Meri was talking in this interview about her current relationship and so cagey, which makes me feel like this is just playing with us. Like, why are they doing this to us?
Neither of us see real value in the relationship. Because if Meri and I really wanted to be together, we would.
So on a couple episodes ago, there was this whole thing between Meri and Kody where Kody basically said, like, if Meri and I wanted to be in a relationship, we would be in a relationship, but neither one of us see value in this relationship. And Meri was kind of talking about how, like, well, Kody and I just let him sort of take the lead about what's going on. I think I've made it pretty clear that I want more and he doesn't really want more, so I'm just going to allow him to sort of get there. I feel like a lot of their relationship problems is because of their lack of communications. I think we talked about that like 14 episodes ago. But in this interview, asks Meri like what the current status of their relationship is, and are things good? And it's really funny because Meri is like, I'm really happy. Like, she didn't answer a question about the relationship. She didn't answer a question about Kody. She was just like, I really love my life right now. The PR non-answer. When your PR person, I don't have a PR person, but I would imagine like someone in the background is like, okay, you have to pretend like everything's cool because our ratings are really dumpy this season because everyone's bored with our storylines because we're lying to everyone. So keep up this facade that you want to be with Kody, and then when you get offline, you can go back to your life. So she was like, yeah, it's great. Everything's fine, And Kody is always like very like, no, we're not together. It's like the two things that don't match. Anyways, on an episode, Kody had mentioned that, if we wanted to be together, we would be together. Now, Meri said that they had filmed this like a really long time ago. And so she said that she actually did not agree with that statement. She said, I don't agree that there's no value in us being together. I think there is value in us being together. I don't agree that if we wanted to be together, we would be together because I want, like I want to be together kind of thing.
I did not agree with that statement then, nor do I now. Because I think there is value to it. And, honestly, it made me a little bit sad when I saw it.
And sometimes I wonder if like Kody is saying what he wants and Meri's thinking it, or if Meri just doesn't want to leave, but whatever. And then on the next follow-up question, the lady at Us Weekly was basically like, so Meri, Kody says that he could get it, you guys can leave at any time, but he can't leave. And she's like, yeah, he always says that. Like, could you imagine having a husband that's always like, hey, if you want to go, you can go. So here's the thing about polygamy, and I'll tell you a secret. The reason why Kody will never kick Meri out has nothing to do with him being stuck and not wanting to let her go. It has to do with the fact that if Kody ever wants to take another wife and stay in favor with the church and his elders, he can't kick her out. So it's really frowned upon in their culture for a man to get rid of a wife. They can, but not if they want to get another wife. So it always falls on the wife to leave. And the other problem is that if he were to leave her, then it sort of creates this mess in the family. When people leave in polygamy, like the person that leaves generally is like shunned from the family. So if he's gonna leave Meri, then he's gonna get in trouble with his other wives. And then what about Mariah, right? Mariah can't have her dad leave because then that makes it weird for her. Because like, who is she gonna pick, right? So the woman has to always leave because one, he has to stay in good favor with the elders. Two, if he wants to have another wife, he can't get rid of another wife. So he keeps saying that he's done picking up wives, but he also says that he's not done having kids. And his wife, Robin, is 42. And, I'm 42, and I'm very well aware of the fact that if I wanted to have more kids, I should probably get started like today because there's not that much time left. And that's kind of where Robin's at. Plus, she's had 5 pregnancies or 5 babies, and I don't know if she even wants to have any more kids, right? She's very like, I don't know if I even want to talk about this right now. So who's he going to have all these babies with, right? So he can't get rid of Meri because, hey, he might want to pick up another wife later because he said he's totally done with that, but I don't believe that. And then 2, obviously, it would make things weird with Mariah. So the only way out is for Meri to leave, and Mary's like, ha, so you want me to leave? Well, I'm going to make your life hell and stay. No, that's not really it. She has to stay because of the celestial kingdom, and she'd get shunned from her family. So if she leaves, then Meri would effectively be kicked out of she would lose touch with her. Like, you can't leave your husband because you've made a contract with God for the celestial kingdom. It's a covenant. And they take these very seriously. And unless you can get a divorce through the church and they have to like honor it and it has to be approved and all of that kind of stuff, then the shunning might not happen. But you can't just like leave for like, there's certain requirements I think they have to meet. And I don't know if they meet those requirements. So if she left, her mom is still in that world. Her siblings are still in that world. And the church would be like, well, you gave up. You broke the rules. So there's a lot that she would give up by leaving. So she has to play along and be like, yes. But anyway, she wasn't really happy with his response about that. But then later on in the interview, she talks about how at one point in time, she really did consider leaving him. So like 6 years ago, remember when she was talking to the catfish? She said at that point in time, she was out the door, like packing up, leaving. She was done with Kody. She was gonna like...
Where I was considering what I wanted to do. And I was considering all options and what that would look like. And I also knew...
Which makes me wonder is, do you think, given the status of their marriage right now, given the status that she won't answer questions about where their marriage is when Kody 2 weeks ago said they weren't together, do you think if Meri found someone else online, she would leave? Like, imagine you're Meri and you're like at home about to post one of your vague statuses, like one of your vague stories, And instead of posting the vague story, you go on to Tinder or whatever, you know, whatever those apps are. I'm married. I don't know. And you're like, oh, swipe up. Oh, Steve. Hi, Steve. Swipe left, right? I don't even know. But do you think if she had the opportunity to meet another man, she would actually do it and then she would leave? I don't think she would leave to be independent. I think the only thing that would like get her out is if she happened to find someone else. That's just my opinion. But I just think it's bizarre. I'll never understand this cult. I'll never understand this mindset. I feel like it's an emotional, like, it's like an emotionally abusive situation to have to be stuck in a state of unhappiness for your entire life with someone that you don't even like simply because a covenant was made, and that covenant, if broken, the cult says you're kicked out. I mean, that's the exact, like, that's like a sign that you're in a cult, is that if you don't do something, you're kicked out, or if you don't follow the rules, you're kicked out, or you can't do this and you can't get, I mean, when you're in a group that has so many rules to stay in the group, you're in a cult. So maybe one day they'll wake up and realize that they're in a cult, because most people that leave polygamous cults wake up and realize that. I don't know. That's what I have for you on that. Meri says she would have left him years ago, but decided not to because she didn't want to make a decision while she was in a dark place. Kody, she does not agree with, and her life is great, but she won't answer questions. And what do you think about Us Weekly? Do you think they just do the questions and not the hard-hitting ones because they need to maintain like the positive relationship with the cast members? Or are they just doing like blasé journalism? If you're going to interview these people, why can't you just like punch at them and give them like a question and make them answer? Why are you letting them get off with caginess? Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.